Hey everyone, back again, another video. Again, I am having issues with the local school district here because members of the school district office do not know what they are doing. They really don't. And apparently they don't know what they're doing because they've been advised by their council, this council, which is let's see, where's the Ben Hufford and Gust Rosenfeld. They apparently this law firm, this education law firm, has informed them that FERPA says that all school properties, all school-owned properties, bus stops, actual parking lots, the buildings, everything is protected under federal law, and therefore any photos, videos, or anybody that goes there without their permission is going to be charged with a federal crime of stealing student records. So I've already emailed Carolyn here, and Carolyn doubled down on the idiocies that Lance Ross here has spoken about. They really are doubling down, saying that they already go through FERPA training, so they don't need my help, and that their attorneys already went through their policies to verify that their policies were correct. And again, FERPA is a law that tells people that I can't get student records. But rights granted. Parents are eligible for student records. Yeah. Family Educational Rights and Privacies Act is a federal law that protects the privacy of student education records and grants specific rights to parents and eligible students. That has nothing to do with me going to the school and getting public records. These people do not know or understand the law, and they are getting information from an attorney based on their inability to understand and distinguish the difference between me asking for the records of a teacher or a staff member. How long have they worked there? What is their salary? Have they had any complaints filed against them? Those are public records. But Miss Stewart here and Mr. Ross believe that employee records are sealed under FERPA. And that if I were to go down the street and take photos of the school, any of the school buildings, take photos of the football field, take photos of the baseball field, or even take photos of the parking lot of the school, I will be charged with violating this federal law. They don't understand. I put it out there plain and simple. I mean, I wrote a lot, and they do not care. They don't care. And this is my other email to them. And again, they're under it's ridiculous. It really is. And I mean, look at all the tabs I got here. Entering public. Yes, you can enter a public school to request public records. This is the Department of Education's guide to requesting ed records under FOIA. And it specifically says that you can do it in person. You can do it in person. And you know why you can do it in person? Right there. Yeah, right there. In person. Yeah. Of the public body that maintains the records you wish to request. Boom. FOIA, Arizona's Freedom of Information Act. This also says that you can do it in person. And you can do it in person because of the Americans with Disabilities Act. I, as a citizen, can walk in and request it verbally, me saying it. I can request it orally from them, and they have to write it down because if I have a disability, or if I, forgot my glasses, or if my arthritis is acting up and I just can't, write it down for them, I can do such things. Now, I also find it funny because it's like, oh, this school, okay, right here, school districts. According to Arizona Public Records Law, public bodies include the state, counties, cities, towns, school districts, and tax-supported districts in the state. It also includes branches, commissions, councils, and committees of these entities. Any committee, board, anything, it all falls under that purview of FOIA. They keep running this whole thing of it's under FERPA. No, I'm not asking for student records. I'm not going, hey, see that kid over there? I want that kid's records. No. I'm walking into the office during normal business hours and filming my interaction with a public officer requesting public information from the record holder. And they're saying, no, you can't do that because FERPA. We had training, and FERPA says that this is a federal crime. And you know who told them that? Apparently, this law firm told them that. At least, that's what Miss Carolyn Stewart said. She says that Ben Hufford and Gus Rosenfeld vetted their codes and their school board policies and found that they are correct, and that if I go to that school and I film any of their employees, I will be arrested with unlawfully gaining access to student records. I am blown away that these are people entrusted. These are people entrusted with our children's education, and they cannot follow a simple email. They don't understand what this all pertains to. They believe that they are a business and that they are private. They are a private entity above the U.S. Constitution. This physically hurts me. Arizona law. Revised statutes for public records, printing and notices, maintenance of records. Boom. Examination by mail, public records, photographs of public records. I can go in. I can request to see the public records on hand, and I can photograph them if I so choose, because I don't want to pay for, copies. I don't want to pay for copies, because if I ask them for copies, I have to pay them for the copies because they are doing a service for me. But I can access those and view those documents right where I am, and I can view them and photograph them for myself. I can contact attorneys and actually sue them if I'm denied access to those records. I can request copies, printouts, photographs myself. I can request them do it and pay for it. I mean, there's a whole slew of information here. More crime victims, witnesses, claims against the United States, liability, noncompliance, identifying eligible. There is a whole bunch of public records information in the laws. You go to ARS 121. Yeah, I already had that one. Never mind. It's this one. Yeah. Maintenance of records, copies, printouts, photographs, and public records, examination by mail, index. Public body means this state, any county, city, town, school district, political subdivision, or tax-supported district in the state, any branch, department, board, bureau, commission, council, or committee of the foregoing, and any public organization or agency supported in whole or in part by monies from the state or any political subdivision of this state, or expending monies provided by the state or any political subdivision of this state. All officers and public bodies shall maintain all records, including records of as defined in 41-151, necessary, appropriate, maintain accurate knowledge, yada, 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 yada. You can request them by mail. You can request them in person. You can request them through their website. But, again, according to Carolyn Stewart here and the Public Information Officer, Lance Ross, it is a federal crime to even think of doing these things. Public records request point of contact. Any entity that is subject to a public records request pursuant to this chapter shall provide the name, telephone number, and email address of any employee or department that is authorized and able to provide the information requested, or able to forward the request to an employee or department that is authorized and able to provide the information requested, and this information shall be made available to the public on the website maintained by the entity. Exempt from the entity maintenance maintains, except if the entity maintains a centralized online portal or subdivision of public records requests that provides receipt on submissions of a request, an employee or department that is authorized able to provide information requested pursuant to this to subsection A of this section shall reply within 5 business days acknowledging receipt of the request. The Public Information Officer, Lance Ross, right there, says he doesn't have to do his job because FERPA says he doesn't have to, because if you try to do that at this school, you will be arrested for trying to steal student records. This is what I'm trying so hard to drill into the heads of these people. These people do not understand what I am talking about when I say public records. They don't. They don't understand the difference between student records and their records. I can request all the information on Carolyn Stewart, Amanda Kate Hall, Cassandra Peluso, James McNutt. Good name, buddy. I can request every single person on here. I can request the jacket of every single person in this site. I can request all their information. I can do that. And by federal law, they must give it to me. They must. There is no excuse. There's no excuse. The only way they can deny me is if I tell them that it is for commercial use and that I am going to get their information so I can put it in a big book and then sell that book for a profit. That is the only way they can deny my request. And again, I could do this request in person and I can record it because the Ninth Circuit Court and the U.S. Supreme Court said that I have a right, a civil right, to record my interactions with public entities. Again, I have been emailing these people and they keep running back to the same thing of, our attorneys said that we are right and you are wrong. This is a black eye on this attorney and his law firm. It makes them look really bad, but it only makes them look bad because Carolyn Stewart and Lance Ross said that their attorneys are the reason why that policy is being backed. They're saying that their attorneys looked over that policy and agreed that that policy was legal. It is not. It's not legal. It is a civil rights violation. I mean, I'm looking at state law, state statutes, a whole bunch of state statutes, actual FERPA law, the federal law, Arizona's public records law, that literally says that, you know, I can do it in person. I mean, this is a whole pamphlet. Arizona's Freedom of Information Act says I can. I mean, file a Freedom of Information Act request in Arizona. You can do it both in person and online. Again, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm dealing with. I am trying to save this school so much headache. And they're telling me, I hope you will find some confidence in the fact that among a dozen other trainings that are required by various laws, all BCSD employees who interact with students are required to receive FERPA training annually. Again, it has nothing to do with FERPA. I don't care about FERPA. You guys are hooked on FERPA because you think that the school is private property, and it's not. You guys really need to actually listen. And I wrote 4 emails. I wrote 4 emails that long, and they did not care at all. They skimmed it, and then they said, nah, this is federal law. We don't care about what you're talking about because FERPA. Our student records are private records. Yes, student records are private. They are. Your records as an employee of the city and district are not private. They are public, 100% public. I can see your salary, how long you've worked there, your date of hire. I can get, you know, all your information, all of it. That's your jacket. I can get it. And I'm actually thinking, hell, maybe tomorrow I'll go down there in person and, you know, actually request some stuff because I'm sick and tired of them not understanding that they are actively ignoring the U.S. Constitution. It's really sickening. And the fact that they can't distinguish between student records and employee records is sad. Sad. But again, this is what we're dealing with. Administrators of a school that don't care about teaching people the right thing. That's all. I wanted to teach them, you know, how to handle First Amendment auditors. They said, we don't need your help because we get FERPA training and we know everything about student records. That's not what I'm talking about, mouth breather. It's not. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's it. See you guys on the next one.